is that I'm more and more finding that the marketeers that we're grooming now have very low history or story understanding, very low historical context. The reason I say this, all the blunders that I'm seeing that are race-orientated, people insulting women, people insulting race, people insulting tribes, it's just lack of history. I truly believe that the degrees that people do now, history, politics, philosophy, economics, should be compulsory in your degree. You shouldn't graduate without having done history, philosophy, politics, and economics, because we make bad marketeers and creative people when we don't have historical context, when we don't have philosophical context, when we don't have political context, because everything we're doing has a historical context, has an anthropological context, and we need to start embracing history. Marketeers who don't like learning about history make poor marketeers in the long run. That's where you get all of this racial ignorance, you get all this gender ignorance, you get all this sexual orientation ignorance. It's because there's very little knowledge of history. People who don't know enough about this country, politics, will make bad marketing decisions, bad creative decisions, because you don't have historical context. Once you have historical context, it increases your empathy, your creative empathy. You start to know more. You start to make decisions differently. Once you know when Indians got here, why they got here, how Chinese got here, once you know Muslim culture, once you know what happens within Islam, you make different decisions. Once you know what happens in Hinduism, Buddhism, religion, history, philosophy, politics, once you know what's going on with EFF, DA, ANC, all these other political parties, it gives you a better context as a marketeer. You don't have to be political, but you can be politically aware. So next slide. So this basically, for me, when I studied all of those things, is just a sign that historical, political context is missing. Next slide. Someone asked me, what are some of the books that I recommend people should read? These are some of the books that I think people should read. These are the books that might decolonize your mind, might make you global, might make you worldly, might make you Afrocentric, might make you a Pan-Africanist, but might also make you more centered and grounded. Next. And once I've talked about these politics, all of those matters, the next phase for me then is that if I were to advise all marketeers now, please embrace behavioral science. It's here to stay. So behavior matters. So start reading a lot of books about behavioral science, and then combine it with economics, combine it with sociology, combine it with anthropology. If I were to do a degree now, I will do a degree from social science, from commerce, and from science. I think that should be the degree now. It should have a combination of social science, commerce, and science. And that degree should create a more holistic person who can really help us solve these issues we're grappling with now. So the degree that is very engineering only, very commerce accounting only, that's why we have Enrons. That's why we have all these sagas about consultancy firms cheating us or doing unethical work. That's why we have all these companies like Steinhoff, all of those issues, allegedly doing wrong things, because we miss a degree that combines everything, that will make you more ethical. Next.